You know, welcome to the Stingers, Hornets, Nest YouTube report. I'm your host, along with my co-host, King Chuck, and my cousin Omega. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, where do we start? Cousin, I was so proud to be able to come in here and tell you, what's up, son? Love you, boy. Thanks for tapping in as always, my boy. To come in here and eat crow tonight. It was going to be the most happiest thing in the world to be able to come in here and say, Sac State did exact. And you know what? I can't even go there. This was one of, and we're about to talk about what happened. This was one of those situations where you were completely right. Sac State did, and I over evaluated Nevada. I over evaluated the way that they played Penn State. Sac State came out there and gave it to them. They put up points, and that was kind of my argument. I just didn't understand how we could put up 3 points against South Dakota, and Nevada can put up 10 points against Penn State, and it was just going to match up. I kind of did it that way. You called it, so I can't even come here and say that you're wrong. Everybody wants to talk about the blunder that happens that happened at the end. That's why I really can't talk about it. I'm gonna let you talk before I get into that. But obviously, a huge blunder, up by 3 points, 2 minutes and 15 seconds left in the game, and we decide to fucking pass the ball. Your response?
First off, man,
Like, what
I do.
happened?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I want to give a shout out to that boy Cordell Williams, man. He came in after Rashada went down for targeting. Though they tried to take my my play out the
Out the
game.
game. And they
They
did.
did that. So I'm not sure how long Rashada gonna be down. I don't know what's going on. We don't really get too much injury reports straight
I
up on
think he
Sac
has a
State like that.
concussion, and I think the protocols is if you get diagnosed with a concussion, then you have to miss that next
Exactly.
game.
So I don't, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it was concussion, some injury, whatever. So they took him out the game. Cordell Williams came in. Cordell came from Tulsa. He a transfer from Tulsa, so he got something to prove as well.
He was nice.
He was nice, bro. He went 12 for 14 for 188, bro. Like in a tug. And he used his feet. And just to reiterate what you were saying at the end of the game, he was using his feet at the end of the game. And then you just wanted to why are you passing the ball? Run the ball. Run the ball. It has nothing to do with like how a coach may feel, what kind of play he may run. It's situational football at that time. It's winning time. So it's time to win. Like it's time to make the right decisions. And I can already tell, and I love Brennan because he wanted to win. My man went for it. What 3 times on fourth down.
Right.
And
Right.
if it would have been unsuccessful even if we didn't get that penalty on the last one. So I understand he wanted to go for the gusto and get that win, but it was situational football. They weren't even dominant. They couldn't stop us. We were doing what we were doing, whether our special teams was going crazy too. So our kicking game was up. It was not a bad game. We had that game. And it was just execution and coaching at the end of the day, man. You know what I'm saying? And I I gotta give it to Rosemira. I think that's how you say his name, the running back.
Yeah.
Hey, running back was getting some chunk yards. You know what I'm
He
saying? And
was.
and what's
14 attempts,
230?
77 yards. His longest run of the game was 26 yards. And cousin, just to kind of piggyback what you were saying with the coaching decision, how many times have we seen this where coaches outthink the situation and they just don't play, just like you said, situational football? I mean, it
Yeah,
was very, very simple. They could not fucking stop the read option. The read man, it had them thinking. Nevada was like, we gave them the biggest gift. They were sitting on their fucking heels like, how are we gonna stop this? And that's why it's called the read option. You get two options. You get two options. But when you sit back and you throw that ball, there's likely there's two options that can happen, all right. Either that receiver's gonna catch it or it's gonna be an interception. Now I know that there's options that can happen when you're doing a read option. But he was running that. You can tell, cousin, the whole offense changed when Cardale got into that game. It was
Yeah.
almost like Coach Marion. He knew what he can do. He said, "I'm switching," and the team rallied. I almost felt like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I seen a glimpse on the sideline when he got into the game how much the team was jumping up, and it was almost like they were. I'm not trying to start rumors, and this is just my own opinion, but it was almost like they were more excited for him to be in the game. And it's like, look, man, this is your opportunity. I know that we had this exciting, 4-star recruit in Rashada that came in and they didn't pay him a lot of money. So maybe they didn't feel obligated to play him. And deep down inside, we know deep down inside that you should have been the quarterback. And that team was running with him. Now, he made the late game error at the end of the game, and that was a travesty. That was brutal. Terrible mistake. But at the end of the day, your coaches put you in position. We outthought the situation. If we would have done a read option, we could have continued to bleed the clock. And then even if you get to fourth down, you play the field position game and you punt the ball and put them on the other side and you say, go and beat me. You don't put all your marbles on the table just to try to outthink a second down conversion.
Yeah.
That's the type of shit, bro, that gets you at this type of level. That's the type of shit that gets you bumped. I'm not gonna lie, bro. That was ridiculous, and I'm not gonna. And I'll give it to Coach. He made, in my opinion, the adjustments that I thought was gonna be too difficult, too fast because of how we looked last week. So I'll give him. They came out, they moved the ball, but I just feel like we got too lax for no reason. I enjoy this bus ride or this flight back home. We just got to run the ball and put this team away. Don't do that.
I don't even think we got. I think we got too tense. I don't even think we got lax. I think that if you're going to throw that ball in a situation, your quarterback has to know I can't let this ball leave my hand unsure. So it either needs to go out of bounds or it needs to go into the dirt. So him holding the ball for too long, and he got hit. So that's why it fluttered like that. So it wasn't like it was a bad read. That's what happened. So when you got hit, it fluttered up, easy interception. So most quarterbacks, if you don't got it, you hold it too long, you're gonna throw the ball away. You know that. Okay, one,
Or
two, I'm
take the
throwing the ball
sack.
away. He
Or just
didn't.
take
He
the
doesn't
sack.
know how to do that yet. So you as a coach, if you're not coaching him up to do that, which he probably wasn't because he probably just not. He didn't take any first team snaps. He just got into the game. So in that case, you don't go out there and try to turn him into Superman just so you can win the game. I get it. Coach Brandon, he was trying to win the fuck out of this game. And he was like, I just got it. If I could just get him there, if I could just ride him down, and you forgot to play football. That was it. You at that last moment, it was just too much for you. You needed maybe not a timeout, but a rally point to where you can breathe and you can get it. And y'all had a specific game plan on your 2-minute warning instead of guessing. How do you, like you said, go from that read option you've been doing to trying to pass the ball like that? You were just nervous. It was just, and I got to give some credit to the defense. Our defense showed up, man.
Yep.
Koa
Yep.
Kui, 2 interceptions, bro.
Yep.
That was beautiful, man. It was like our defensive line. They yes, they were getting ran on a little bit, but once we got into the red zone, they could not score. That we was getting interceptions. We was
Yeah.
stopping them on fourth down, turnover on downs. So we was right there primed for that game, cousin. That was the game we
I know.
bro. We had to get this game, and it's unfortunate that we over here talking about the shoulda, couldas, and wouldas, man.
Yeah, because I definitely can see us bouncing back next week against Central, but I'm not gonna lie, cousin. I don't, Weber State is going to be tough, man. That team knows who they are, and they've had the same coaching staff for a long time. They continuously get decent recruits because people are starting to realize like you can go into Weber State and get out and get to the league. They've already proved it. So it now it's just like I said, man, this is just not a situation that we wanted to be in. Now shit feels like it's snowballing, and unfortunately in college football, you just don't get a lot of time to sit there and wait and for people to figure out, they're paying lots and lots of money, and Sacramento's trying to get a lot of things going for themselves right now with all these arenas and stadiums and things to get built and all this NIL money coming in. And it's hard to do that when you're losing, and it's just that simple. I mean, this was just very very simple football. It was second down, and I get what he was thinking. Some of the and I say that with Kyle Shanahan all the time. Kyle Shanahan's a great coach, but if you outthink and always try to make yourself, you try to be like I say, man. Players win games, not coaches. So if you try to make yourself and insert yourself a little too much, and try to outthink the opposition too much, this is the type of shit that can happen. And
Yeah,
that's the risk of passing the ball. You sit back and pass the ball. There's a lot of different things that can happen. It starts from the rip, bad snap. Okay, it can be a bad snap. You got how many linemen on the line, depending on what formation you in. You can have 6, 7, 8 linemen on the fucking line. I don't, 6, 7 linemen on the line. Excuse me, and a tight end. And at any point, one of those guys can lose coverage, fuck up the thing, and that's exactly what happened. Yes, he held the ball, but that's the risk that you take when you pass the ball. Nobody says it's a risk because it's only going to be the quarterback's fault if he fucks up or a lineman's fault. No, you made that decision to pass the ball, and that's the risk you take. And so now you got to live with it. You gave them a gift, and then they stood up there showing the camera of all the Nevada fans. Man, them fucking fans were they were quiet the whole entire game,
the whole
and
game.
man, they were throwing up the Wolfpack. You seen the dead alumni popping up out the grave. I was like, what the fuck is going on, man? It was like a whole energy, and we gave those people a reason and a way to go home feeling good about themselves. And we should have been going home on that flight in that bus ride feeling like we're 1-1, we're about to beat the shit out of Central, and now we're gonna let Weber State know that was a fluke. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? And we can go in there and knock. If we can go in there and knock Weber State off, now that's a good win. So, like I said, man, at the end of the day, man, this is a results bottom line game. I hate to hate on another brother out there doing it. He's a great coach. I think he made the proper adjustments, but this is a learning curve, man. This is another learning thing on the fly that he's gonna have to learn. And unfortunately, in college football, you don't get that much opportunity. So, I hope that we can get some wins off. We can get on a little winning streak so that because I believe in this man. I'm not here
yeah,
to sit here and bash Coach Brennan, but it's like, when you see like situational football turn into disastrous plays like that, as that, like that's literally a way to get yourself canned. Like seriously, because now you were the reason. We're sitting here talking about you.
yeah.
So
Uh, I think he has a decision to make. One thing that happens, and unfortunately in college, man, is so many next guys up, and it's, when you leave the door open, you let in the flies, bro. So I mean, Jaden Rashada, Cordell Williams is here, bro, and you got to make that decision.
I'm glad. Yep. Go ahead, cousin.
So,
Go ahead.
so
Kill
I'm
it.
looking at it like this. Okay, he at least got to take some first team snaps in practice. And you talking about a concussion, you don't know how long that's out. But the season is way short. It's not an NFL season. We do not got time for you to
Cook.
be out for
He's
3 games.
cooking.
That's crucial. That's crucial. If the report comes back that Rashada got to miss maybe the next game too, you're done, brother, and it's okay.
My cousin said, if you leave the door open, you will let in flies. And I'm sorry.
Yes.
And I'm so glad my cousin transitioned to that. He's better. He's better, cousin. And I'll tell. And I'm sorry, I had to say it. I had to say it. I had to fucking say it. And this is where I'm gonna say it. This is where I'm gonna say it. This is where I'm gonna say it. And this is the whole thing. Arm talent, I won't even go there. The feel for the game. When I seen
Yep.
that dude come in and run that read option, I seen how his feel, and I'm seeing how Rashada having a happy feel. I'm like, oh no. And then I
Said that.
seen, dude, I'm telling you, cousin, how those dudes. I don't know if you've seen that clip because we get stuff during the game. We don't watch every single thing. There was a clip when he came in and they showed it on the sideline. That team was. It was like they were. They were like happy, like Jesus had came in at quarterback, and they were waiting for this opportunity.
Yep.
So, like I said, I'm not creating rumors, but
No,
I'm
man.
just saying I think the team has rallied around Cardell, and this is his team. And now this injury, unfortunately, just like you said in football, the best ability is availability. And if you're not there, another cat can come in. And if he gives them any type of spark, why would you try to tinker with that? He put up points. You only put up 3 points last game.
I'll even give you an example. Jalen Hurts and Tua. Alabama did that.
Remember how they did that?
And Jalen, where Jalen went after that? He went to what's it called after that?
Where did he go
I
again?
forgot. It's on the tip of my tongue. I know exactly where he
Oh my
went.
God! Not Clemson, not South Carolina.
I don't know why it's not coming to
Why
my
can't
head.
I think of that? Somebody comment in the Come on, guys, comment in the comments. Where did Jalen Hurts go to college?
I know
Like,
he
come on.
was it Auburn?
No. Oh my! Not LSU.
It's fucking with me now.
Not Florida. I'm thinking of all the top teams. It was none in Southern Cal.
He
It
didn't
was
go to
none in
Arkansas. He didn't go to.
Texas.
We gotta look it up. We gotta
It
look.
was none in Texas. Let's try to narrow down the states. It was none in Texas. It was none in Florida. Was it Oklahoma?
He
I
might have
think
been a Sooner.
I think he was a Sooner. I think he was a Sooner. See, we
Yeah.
narrowed it down by states. We narrowed it down to that
Yeah, I
middle of the
was like, bro,
country.
I
Yeah.
forgot. That's what happens when you be above the influence a little bit. You
But you're
see,
right, and cousin, that's a very good point. They convinced us. They convinced us. They was like, no, and I'm not gonna lie. Maybe for your program and your system, Tua was the best. The best thing. He had a lot of
yeah,
momentum. He wanted to prove himself. But now, but now, bruh, they still trying to, and they still doing that to Jalen Hurts. They
yeah.
still just don't want to say that he's a great quarterback, bro. No matter what he does.
Hey, they did the meme. What's his name? That little midget black dude. What's his name? Beetlejuice. It's a meme
Yeah.
where he's standing around. They like, what you doing, Beetlejuice? He like me. Nothing. He did that. They did that for AJ Brown. I was like, bruh, you AJ
I ain't seen
Brown,
that one.
and you not getting no receptions. That nigga Jalen, he's fucked up. That's going completely off subject. But god damn, Jay, throw him
I
the
know,
ball.
man.
God
I
damn.
know.
But that's completely off subject, man. Back to these Hornets, man. I'm not disappointed in the Hornets, man. This was a good game. I look at it like this. The way we played the Jackrabbits, we could have got the Jackrabbits. I could have been satisfied with this loss today.
Right.
I'm
I
not
agree.
satisfied, or I'm just a little weary because we can't go 0-3. We might as well go ahead and pack it up. Nigga, go get your controller. Your mama's on the way, bro. Like, you can pack this shit up and go home. And that's just where we at because it is a downhill boulder roll, bro. Like, it's not going to get easier.
Yeah.
We got Northern Colorado, Weber State, we got Davis.
Eastern
It's getting kind
Washington,
of heavy. So we got
Montana.
Portland State, Eastern Washington. It's just, where do you see it getting any easier? So these was the ones we had to kind of wake up and take, and we took a shit. So it is what it is, cousin. But we gonna bounce it back. I don't know, man. I feel like we had a good running back by committee. Curtis Hammond, even Rashada before he went down, big runs. We had a touchdown run, a big reception. That big reception from not Jalen, but Cordell Williams. Man, what was that like? Over 60-something yards that pass.
Yeah, yeah,
That was huge. So it was a lot of explosive plays. We didn't look like we didn't know what we were doing. Unfortunately, that's what it comes down to when you're playing a good football game and a good football team. It comes down to one play, one bad mistake. So that was what I was talking about last week when we were talking about Rashada, how I don't necessarily feel like he played too bad. You know, they marched down the field, but he wasn't able to get it into the end zone last week. And that's just what you got to do. So you
right.
can do all of the extra stuff, but if you don't get that touchdown or you don't score that ball, it's just null and void. So I feel like Cordell this week, he made an effort to put the ball in the end zone, and that was huge. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah. Let
Unfortunately,
me ask
they
you
got
something,
us, man.
cousin. Do you think that we're running too many running backs? I mean, you got Curtis with 8 carries, Williams with 9 carries, Hammond with 9 carries, Henderson with 6 carries, Red 4 carries, McGough 1 carry, and Corley with 1 carry. I mean, and then you got Rashada had 2 carries, Bryant 1 carry, and Adams. I mean, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys that we used to run the ball when uh, Nevada only ran Raysmere and Turner, those two, and then you did get Balloon and Floyd with 1 run apiece each. But it looks like they're running 2 running backs and we're running like 10.
I,
Now,
I
mind you, that's our quarterback too. But why? I mean, I just think, are we trying to? Do you have are we trying to please too many people because maybe we promised all these recruits so much money, so much promise to come to Sac State because we were just trying to collect as much talent, and now we feel that we have to play all these guys, and some of these other guys, they know who they are, like Nevada. We're only running fucking 2 running backs. They ran pretty much 2 running backs the entire game. Raysmere got 14 carries and Turner got 10 carries. It's like, what are we doing, man? We're running too many guys. We don't. I just feel like we're a huge melting pot, man, right now, and we haven't figured it out. We have so much talent, man. Our defense is nasty. We got some big hitters on this team. We got a great defensive line. Our secondary is not bad. I just think it's just. I'm not gonna do it to my guy, man. Because I've been there as a head coach plenty of times, man. I've coached youth football for years. You've coached youth football, and it's not easy, but I will say, man, some of it's coaching, man. I just have to say, in a way, it's coaching and putting it together on the fly, man. And some can do it, some can't, and it's a lot of responsibility to gather all this talent to put it together. So I'm gonna let you kind of end it and let me know what you think. Are we running too many running backs? And if or do you think that it's just that has really nothing to do with it? We just got to figure it out.
Yeah, I think it's more so it really don't got nothing to do with it. I think what our model is that read option and that Lamar Jackson type model where they're doing out there in Baltimore, and it's running back by committee because with that read option, you want to kind of give it to multiple different backs so they can't read in and zero in. So if you got if you got 2 backs on the side of you with the quarterback, but he's only giving it to the one running back, he's just giving it to the same one, and then or he's taking off with it, you're gonna start, looking at the other one as a dummy. You won't zero in on it, or when specific players are out there and you only been running it to the running back, but then when he comes in, you give it to him. So then now it's like, okay, when he comes in, we know they're going to him. They're doing packages. But if you can have everybody fresh and you're doing it running back by committee with that read option, it can go anywhere. It can potentially go this way, it can go that way. They gave it to this fool 5 times, they gave it to this cat 4 times. So we don't really kind of know where it's gonna go when it say hike. So I feel like if that's what you're doing, then you need to do it perfection with
Right.
like perfectly.
Absolutely.
If
Yeah.
that's what you're doing, just do that and do it right. So at this point, I feel like our team is predicated on our running backs. Our receivers haven't gotten too much burn. I, I see our receivers are, they're good, they're talented, but I can tell, you can just tell they instantly go into blocking mode, which is fine. If that's how the team is put together, like even look at like Baltimore,
Mhm.
you had high profile receivers turn into blockers. Like we know Lamar gonna run it. We know Derrick Henry was gonna run it. They knew that
Right.
whatever dude that they're running the ball. So it's like, okay, well, how do we stop them? And if you start making yourself one dimensional, you take that element away from you. So like I said, if you're gonna do it big and do it right. Just take it like that.
I hear you, man. If you guys are in here, man, please give us a like, comment so we can shout you guys out. We shout all of our people that come into the comment section. We're a small channel. We give a lot of love here, and we're going to continue to do that. That's our motto. We show appreciation to everybody. We see two people in here, guys. Just say hello, and we'll shout your name out and give you a big shout out, just so that you can feel special, feel welcome in here. We're a big, we want to create community here, and so we appreciate you. Just out of all the YouTube channels, man, you took the time to come in here and just hear us out, even if it was for 2 seconds. We are so grateful for that. And if you can hit that, comment or even give us a subscription, we would really appreciate that. That means the world to us, because we definitely are growing and we're putting in a lot of work to try to be great into this YouTube stuff. But besides that, I'm just disappointed, man. I just think I wanted to be wrong so bad. If you can just tell the energy, like I'm not by any stretch of the imagination happy about this. I'm born and raised in Sacramento, and it's killing me that people in Nevada and all these other states are being able to kind of, because I know that that's what they're saying. They felt the hype, they felt the energy, they felt the not being able to get some of these recruits who didn't want to go to Nevada and play out there. We were able to secure those with some great coaching. We had Shaquille O'Neal being an ambassador for Sacramento State. We got Mike Bibby joining. Mike Bibby has joined as a basketball consultant. And so we just have all this energy coming towards us right now, where we were able to take advantage of a lot of resources, and also being in the great state of California. And I just feel like, we're missing our fucking mark, man. Like, I want my city to be great. We want to be so proud of this city. And we're tired of being, Sacramento being one of the cities that's just kind of being slept on. And this is, unfortunately, is kind of another bummer start to just having a lot of hype to the city and not being able to really perform, man. But I wish Coach, all the best. And if you're watching, I'm not being hard, but I want to push you guys, man. I believe in you, man. I know you got a lot of great people on that staff, and we're bleeding for you guys to be great, man. We want to be great, but we got to push this content the way it is, and we want to be honest. And I know you would only want that. So I appreciate everybody. And cousin, you got anything before we get out of here, man?
Nah, man, just everybody, just go make sure that you tapping into to everything Sac State, even if it's the women's teams, men's teams. We just want to encourage everybody to get out into Sacramento and show a different side, show that we are a very big sports city. I do have a mission. I do want to bring hockey, professional hockey, bring a professional. Uh, I want the Republic to become in the MLS, and I want to bring the W
Absolutely.
back. The W, really, we the first time Sacramento seen a championship was with the WNBA, with the
Monarchs.
Monarchs, and I want to see them come back. So I just want to prove I want to get an MLB team. I know we're hosting the A's right now, so let's go out there and support them at Sutter Health. Like I'm really into this, man. We got to start building pipelines, man, that are homegrown. From Pop Warner to high school, college, right to the pros. You don't even have to ever leave Sacramento to get some of the best sports that you could ever see in the
Right.
world, because we know, I'm biased, but USA, we hold it down, when it comes to the sports. People always want to come from overseas to come play in the USA. So you know what I'm saying? We got some of the best talent in the world. So if we can be the best in the nation when it comes to that oh man, they came out of Sacramento. Oh yeah, man, that's dude out of Sacramento. Yeah, when they come out of those cats. So that's what I want us to be known as. And it all starts with the support from the fans and just us as parents and teachers and coaches getting out here and really being a part of our community and working with these kids, man, and showing them a better way. So that's what I'm on right now.
Yeah, and guys, we got to realize, man, Sacramento's a top 20 market, and that's kind of what everybody started realizing and why they started pouring in this. When I say a market, TV market means we have enough population to gain, a certain amount of people for television and viewership. So you look at Tuscaloosa, Alabama, that's a small fucking city, and they get a lot of, they got a lot of things going for them as far as football and everything. And so that's where Sacramento started to realize they were like, wait a minute, we are way bigger than that. If you go to Alabama, Tuscaloosa, that's a very, very small city that a very, very big college football, and they get a lot of energy going over there. And they got a lot of, ESPN going over there. And Sacramento had to realize, like, wait a minute, we're in California, we're a top 20 market. We have professional teams here. Yeah, that's where people start. That's where we were able to get all the funding and all the NIL money. So I just feel like, man, it's time to take advantage of it. But hey, Sac State fans, stay up. You know how football works, how sports works. It can be one thing today and it can change tomorrow. If we win next week, we're obviously going to be feeling a lot better. And obviously, if we can beat Weber State, that's going to be even better. So right now, it's just about stacking wins. And we'll go from here, man. We're wishing Rashada a speedy, speedy recovery, man. That guy went out and tried to make a play for the team and ended up at the end of the day getting hurt for the squad. So sometimes people got to take that into consideration before they just, bash guys. And that's what we weren't here to do. We were just saying that, we thought the team rallied behind Cardell. But we're definitely wishing Rashada a speedy recovery because we've seen that, this dude was out there trying to make a play for himself and for the team, and he could even been doing that for his own career. He could be feeling all this pressure, like I have to do this, and then he sits out there and makes that, gets injured like that, and then has to deal with people saying that he can't live up. So it's not that dude's a great quarterback, great talent, just an unfortunate situation that happened to him. So we're gonna get out of here, man, with the Sac State Hornets Nest report. Gave you guys 32 minutes of content tonight. We appreciate everybody coming in and showing love. Thanks for all the likes, subscribers, and commenters. And we out of here. Cousin, you got anything to say one more time before we get out of here?
Nah, we all good.
All right, man. Stingers up. Holla back.